couple of meetings I couldn't ignore. So the topic is getting the first order. So the major aim why we want to have a startup or why we start up a business is simply to make sales. And in making sales, it's actually the first when we make sales, it's actually the first confidence or boost that actually moves our business from idea to reality. So you can have the best idea and everything seems so good, and everything is perfect. Not until you make sales. It's just what you have on hand is just an idea. So sales is actually the first test to prove that we now have a business. So we're going to be looking at selling your first product, leveraging digital platforms, and building long-lasting customer relationships. So like I said, that if selling your first product is the first monumental shift from hypothetical projects to a real business through direct hustle, vision, and de-risking. So when you sell, that is actually when you now have a business, because you cannot have a business without customers. And customers are actually people who patronize you, who buy from you, or who use your product. So for you to actually have your first sales, you have to, first of all, so the question we'll be asking is, how do you get your first sales? If you have a business, how do you get your first sales? You can actually get your first sales even from your house. From your house, maybe you have your business, you have a business that actually makes chicken and that makes chips, plantain chips, and after frying, your neighbor or somebody from your this thing smells very nice. Let me buy. So that's actually your first sales. So your first sales can come from anywhere, but it's also good that when we actually make it plans for our first sale, we should look at we should be specific in our options. So even if maybe we might have like a population in mind, we can say, okay, our product is targeted at students in University of Benin. It does not mean that that's where your first sales will come from. And even in that University of Benin, you also have to be specific. Among all the faculties in University of Benin, which faculty will easily adopt this product? Also, when you have faculty or a department, you can also narrow it down to like which level we also accept this product first. Because so for you to make your first, we are just now one who is the first customer, who is now one customer that will easily pay for this product. So you will have to target individuals, look for specific early adopters instead of broad demographics. So if your target audience is the University of Benin, don't just focus on the University of Benin as a whole. You can focus on a particular department and also a level in that department. Because if you are looking at the whole university, you just have to start from somewhere. You could even say, okay, maybe at the gate, the shopping complex at the gate, these are the first people that have four garment products. You focus on them. So after you've sold, it's actually after sales that you can actually test to see that if your product it's actually your first initial sales that will determine if your product will sell. So it's also very important that you make that first sale before you even start planning more. So there's also this in the startup weekends that we've had, there's always a session where Mrs. Edman will tell the startup founders to go out into the streets, to go and do market survey, to go and test, to go and get feedback from their users, so that they get feedback. So this is also part of it's also a process of market acquisition. But after that, when your market is now fully launched, when your MVP is now fully launched, the first person that will pay for your product is actually your first customer. So for you to do that, there's a whole lot of stuff behind it. So, and there's also a whole different way or approach you can go around it. So that's what we are looking at here. You have to target individuals. You also have to go where they gather, pitch directly in niche forums, physical meetups, and dedicated communities. So what you need to first of all look at is identify your products. Once you understood your product, you check who are the first people that will adopt this product. Who are the first people that will want to pay for this product? Imagine you have a an agricultural platform where you sell agricultural produce from different parts of Nigeria. So you have to look at, if I have yams from Benue, who are the first people that will likely buy from it? So obviously it's not people in Benue because they are the one that produces it, so they have yam in their backyard. So they will not be your first customer. So first customer, people in Lagos, totally far from Benue, or people where they eat a lot of pounded yam, people where they do a lot of fried yam, or who process yam into something else. Hmm? So once you've identified that, you can decide to list them like more like a community. There was a product we were going to launch at that time, some years back. It was actually an app for artisans. So what we did was to gather lots of, hold like a session, like a seminar for artisans, gather them, teach them a lot of things about their work, things that will help their work. And was at that point, we also like introduce the app to them. We also taught them how to use it. And a lot of them subscribe for the premium just to test it out. So this could also be an approach in getting your first customers. You could organize pitch in a particular section of people that you've identified. And the next here is actually pollution installation. So you can also manually onboard your early users on the spot, as Stripe did in this initial stage. So maybe you have an app that you know that this app, because it's still new, a lot of persons will not be able to use it on their own. So what do? You meet them with their physical location, you register them yourself, you onboard them yourself. Another advantage of this is that it also helps you as the owner of the app, owner of the platform, to know what people, the difficulties people pass through before they before they before they register on the platform. There was this product that, okay, as at 2022, 2023, yeah, POS became so popular. 2021, 2022, POS became so popular that a lot of companies started going into POS. There was a very big company that went to POS, Flutterwave, and the products failed in the market. The reason these products failed was simply because of the user experience. So I'm just actually checking if maybe they've relaunched. Okay, so I think they are still in the market. But one big setback they had was that they after they designed the software, because they were already big, they were already a unicorn in the market. People already know about Flutterwave, the processing payment gateway, and others. So decided to go into the POS business to compete against Money Point, Opay, and PalmPay. So they launched. They sold lots of devices. People were excited, but it was affordable to people. They were excited about. So a lot of POS agents they bought this POS machine. So the reason I was actually following this was that a friend of mine rented an office space in my place, and that's where they were using to distribute for people in GRA. After they sold the first 5 or 10 in just a week. People started complaining that they couldn't use it. So this were actually people that were actually purchasing were people who maybe they've used Money Point before, they've used OPay, or newbies who were just entering the US market. I started difficult platform. As each time you log to the POS, yeah, it's always asking you for password again before you can use it. You're trying to make transaction. A lot of glitches on the software. That's why they will come, they will support them. After 2, 3 weeks, they started returning back the POS that they wanted their money back. So most times it's good that as a founder, you actually try to experience what your users, what they feel. So one thing that kept coming to my mind at that time was that a platform as big as a company as big as Total Group, do they don't know that they're supposed to do proper user analysis, proper testing before they launch? I couldn't understand why they just threw the stuff to the market like that with lots of glitches. Eventually, the idea faded, and I've not seen any of those. I've not seen any of those POS around. I've not come across them in since that time. As I'm talking to you, I still have like about 5 machines, which were sold and were later returned, that I had to pay for. So we have to most times manually onboard our customers, even if we have the digital platform we plan to use to engage them, to also look for customers manually. So don't just put it that it has to be your customers will have to reach out their platform themselves. No, there are times that you have to assist them, especially if your audience or customer segment is actually people who are also digitally employed. So one approach you can do is to meet them at the point where they are. And when you are meeting them at the point where they are, not just give them the app to register, help them to register and create an account for them. Teach them how to use it, because it's like an opportunity for you to meet your learners face to face, which you might not have again if your product scales. So the next thing we are looking at is strategy, vision, and risk reduction. So first of all, when you have a product you want to sell, you want to launch, the first thing you need to do is try to set the vision to the people. Try to let them know why you are creating this. If it's a POS software you are putting the market with a POS machine, let them know why your own product is different from Money Point, from Pumping, from other ones already in the market. You can tell them that you've noticed that a lot of people, POS agents, they still not make enough profit as they should. Because of that, you want to put them zero service charge. You want to put zero service charge on the PS agent, but every percentage of transactions they process, you get something from inside. So with that, the users will easily connect with you. They'll see that this person is trying to solve our problem, and they will easily connect with you. We have to know that early products, when you really start your startup, most times the products you are marketing most times might not really be perfect. So because of that, you have to make sure that these people, apart from them using your products, apart from all your products you do for them, let them know what you are trying to solve, the problem you are trying to solve. Let them buy. When they do that, they will stand by you. Then we also have to focus on the transformation your product promises, not just its current features. So you also have to let them know that this feature we currently have now is our MVP. It is our minimum viable product. We will continue to build on it, that even more difficult, more complex problem that you will have will be integrated to this, and our platform will solve them for you. So you have to tell them know that even if this is what we have now, we are going to do more. We are going to increase features of the product. Then the next is you have to de-risk the purchase. So a very good example of this one is you are selling a product, and your first customer that will buy from you is telling you that I really want to buy this product too, but I don't trust you, I don't know you enough to pay before delivery. So because of that, I will want to pay on delivery. And you start saying that no, I don't need to, I don't know you, and I can't send to you to pay on delivery. So what I would advise you to do in that case is actually to like de-risk, because the customer currently have a risk that is not willing to bear. So you, the seller, you, the founder, you have to de-risk that purchase. So you can say, okay, I have a friend in Lagos. This I'm in Benin. I can whip it to that my friend. You go and pick up from the person and pay on delivery. So what did you just do? You just save the person that the risk of just that person will trust you more, because ordinarily he was not willing to part way with his money to take the risk of you delivering the product after payment. But what you've done, you fix the purchase for that person. We know very well that in Nigeria here, where trust is a very big issue in Nigeria because our consumer protection, uh, our consumer protection is very poor in Nigeria. So that's why today we still have you buy data from NTN, either you don't use it, you collect the data to you, or even you can even buy it, you still have poor network and the data will still go. So ordinarily, consumer protection was supposed to come into those issues, but we don't have that. It's only Nigeria here that you buy a product and product is not good, you go and return it to the seller. The seller will tell you that you should take another product. No. Outside the country, you can even buy shirts, wear that shirt, use it for your party, and you come back, as far as it's not stained, you give to the seller that I don't like it. They will change it for you. You can buy a product and you use it, see that it doesn't meet your taste, you return it back to the seller and they will collect. But in Nigeria here, even if you don't use it, the seller will not give you back your money. He will tell you to take another product. That's simply because our consumer protection does not work. So we startup founders also have to have this in mind, that the kind of culture we have, that buyers have to trust you, because if they don't do that, they are at risk of losing their money. So you have to understand that when somebody is telling you that I can only buy this product, pay on delivery. So you have to understand that person is saying this because of there's no consumer protection. So you have to understand that customer and make sure that you de-risk that purchase for the person. So you have to lower the friction of the first order by establishing human connections. There's something I've noticed, that when one platform that I'm very, very confident of buying anything from is actually AliExpress. I can buy anything from AliExpress simply because I've got a lot of things and I've gotten what I wanted, and every complaint you make is treated diligently. So I have never lost my money on AliExpress because they have everything on ground to protect the customer. If, for example, I buy a phone from AliExpress, which I've done several times, and I did not receive because of our logistics agency, and I did not receive the phone. Once you make a complaint that you did not receive that phone, they will refund you your money. Or you make a complaint that this item I've bought is not what I wanted. They'll tell you to return it and they'll give you back your money. Because what they do is that they collect the money from you, they put the money in an escrow account, not until you tell them that you are satisfied with that product, they will not give that money to the customer. After you've bought, they give you a number of days for you to like check the product until you mark that you've received it and you are satisfied before they will give it to the seller. There are cases where I've even bought products, maybe during COVID-19, when they were having issues with logistics. Post Nigeria, we have issues with logistics. Product. They started refunding money to all the people. Even maybe after COVID, people eventually got their products. AliExpress covered everything, sellers and the customers. So we have to be ready to satisfy our customers, to reach their purchase, and also to see our vision to them that this is the impact we are trying to make with this product. One thing I used to tell people about business is that business is not just that you sell, you make money. No, business is what problem are you solving? What impact are you making? What service are you rendering? Not until you see your business like this, you will never learn how to treat your customers. So I am doing this because I am selling this phone. I'm producing the phone because I want users to be able to access the internet. And once I have that in mind, even in producing that phone, the features I'm going to be putting, there are features that will actually protect the customer, protect the person that will use that device. You understand? So once you have your customers in mind, you, your it will be very easy for you to for you to convince your buyers, for you to convince your customers, because they will easily notice that this person has us in mind. So those days when God is good really started, one thing that really actually made them became very popular because in early, let's say, 2000 and as early as 2010, 2011, God is good, we are not so popular. God is good, we are already in existence, but so they were not so popular. So they used to have God is good, God is good. I remember they said that one car had an accident. So already we were not dragging that the bus was God is good. People came out and said it was God is great. So they were just dragging that it was not them that had the accident. So I mean, at that time they were not popular. But when they spoke of this, the first thing they did was customer satisfaction. They reduced their garage, furnished the place, and we did a lot of innovations that were customer centered. People could get executive place to sit there, find a way for their bosses, good customer relations, good, now have refined staffs who treat their customers very well. And even though the bosses will come, they'll share snacks for you. They'll, after the bus have driven like, let's say, 1 hour, they'll stop the bus on the road. A customer agent will stop the bus on the road going to Lagos. We start asking the passengers, how have you been treated? Do you have any complaint? They will do that. I don't know if they still do that now. But you can see that these people have rebranded, putting the customer first. You understand? So they even had option where they can even come and pick you from your house. They also have a service where if you book online, you can also select they should come and pick you from your house. If maybe you book, you are not there, they'll pick up the phone and call you. We notice that you booked this bus, but you are not here yet. So they kind of rebranded the whole transportation services. And that is why they became popular. People started using them, people started going to them because they had new buses, they had the customer at heart. So when you have a service, when you have a product, when you are making that product, you have to make your customers the center of that product. So that's why also when you do that, all this issue of selling the vision, the risk, it becomes very easy because the person you are interested in is the customer. The person you are building that product for is the customer. So this day and age, another easy way to sell, apart from meeting your customers directly, is also having a connection with them on digital platforms. And these days, it's now amazing that almost everybody uses smartphones on social platform. I went to buy yams some weeks ago, and I met one elderly woman, like somebody we technically call it a day. She was using uh she was using her phone to access TikTok, but just scrolling. I was like, this is really this is really amazing because those days parents used to battle their children that they should not use social media, do this, stay away from phone. Phone is distracting you, you are wasting time on your phone. But these days, our mothers are now the one even doing the TikTok more. So I can easily say that we now have lots of population on social media, on digital platforms. You see TikTok, see Snapchat, see Facebook, see Instagram, see Twitter, a lot of persons. So this is actually another platforms where in which you can actually sell our first product. So because of this, we have to tap into existing digital infrastructure, audience pools, and buyer trust past any market entry friction. So for example, you can, if maybe the products you've made is a gari, packaged gari, like we say cassava flakes, you take it to TikTok, you hold it with your hand and you start shaking it, or you start soaking the gari, let people see how delicious it is. You are eating it in their presence. Before you know, somebody will ask you how much can you deliver to Lagos. So these days it's actually very, very easy to sell online because the generation we have now, the people we have, the more it's not easy for them to trust because they don't know that you can easily there's now so I would say that compared to like 5 years ago, people are now willing to buy online compared to before. But I know those days people that I want to buy this in online, they will say, what if you don't get the product? But now the trust has reduced. That you now have these days, the trust has increased. You now have these days that a lot of air vendors, a lot of vendors, clothes vendors. When you go to Instagram, you see a lot of people selling clothes. There was one guy I came across. He was selling. He has a boutique in not really a boutique, but I don't think it's a working boutique. But he has like something in Lagos where he buy bales of clothes. So what he does was, if the day arrives, he will start wearing them. Get his says him and they say they'll be wearing the clothes. They'll make videos. They will work with it. Like they will model these clothes and post online. Before you know, you see people asking them how much can you deliver to Kaduna? Can you deliver to Benin? Several times I've purchased clothes from the guy because ordinarily when you see a picture of a shirt or a trouser, you might not really know how well it will fit on you. But when you see somebody wearing it, you can easily connect to it. So it's actually very easy to these days to sell online. All you just need to do is actually have a proper strategy or use the proper platform and also connect with the platforms. So an easy way to now to connect to the platform is demography. Every social media platform actually has a different age group, different demography. So for example, you will hardly find people above 45 upwards using Snapchat. So Snapchat is common. Snapchat is common among 14 upward, simply because of the marketing strategy in which they entered in which they used it when they launched. I remember those days in 2013. I know they launched around 2013, except maybe, but when I knew them 2014. When they launched, the competitors they had were WhatsApp, Twitter, and they came out with one unique thing that teenagers, don't worry, we have come for you. Your parents are like searching your phones. They will never see the messages that were sent to you. So they had a feature that once the message is sent to you, if you read that message, the message will delete. So because of that, they got a lot of users from teenagers who their parents always search their phones. Not until 2014, 2015, when they were hacked, and all the messages that people thought are deleted surfaced online. They started downloading people's nude and different pictures, sensitive pictures like that. So that's somehow like set them back. But ordinarily, the approach in which they entered the market was very, very solid. They had a target audience, they had a good feature that their target audience wanted, and they got a lot of customers and users. So same also TikTok. When TikTok came in, they knew that Twitter already existed, Instagram already existed, and WhatsApp already existed. They just said our focus will be on videos. And how did they do that? They created a platform that actually made it easy for people to edit videos. So their major strength of TikTok that made them so popular was the content, the studio that came with TikTok. That with TikTok, you can easily make a video, edit it, and you post without stress. Not like before you have to go and shoot the video somewhere, look for something to edit it before you now come to post it. But no, for them, they made it easy for you to easily edit your video and you post. So that was actually what sold TikTok. That's why TikTok is so popular. So because of that, any individual can easily carry phone, make a video and post. Any amateur, you don't need to learn any skill before you can. You don't need to learn how to edit video because it came with all those features for you to be able to edit videos, crop videos, drawing videos, and that's what blew TikTok. So I can tell you today that the most used social media platform by all ages is TikTok. It's TikTok because almost everybody can easily connect with it. And the algorithm is also very nice that as you're using it, it start recommending for you similar videos that you're interested in. So that was what actually put them in the market. That's actually made them strong in the market. So you need to tap into existing digital infrastructure, audience pools, and buyer trust to bypass any market friction. So you have to know that every social media platform has age brackets. For example, teenagers of these days, they don't even want to create Facebook accounts because they feel that it's for our parents. Because when they go there, it's their parents they meet there. And then again, another limitation that Facebook have is that since if you register on Facebook, people that is actually your friends, family, and everybody that will be connected to you. So teenagers will not want to be monitored by their adults' relations and others. So because of that, they just stay away from it. So on Facebook, you will hardly find age brackets 14 to, if I'm not exaggerating, 22, yeah. While on Twitter, you have age bracket. So my interaction with teenagers is that they hardly find it difficult. They actually find it difficult to understand Twitter. So the age bracket you might likely find on Twitter is, let's say, 18 to, let's just say 20 to 40. On Facebook, you find age from, let's say, if I'm not, I think 35 upward. It used to be 30, but as the year goes by, it's gradually moving up. So you comfortably find 35 years old upward on Facebook. And then again, the algorithm of social media platforms, they are so strong that they actually reflect people's thinking, people's ideology. For example, if you're on Twitter, there's just say that when gist surface, you will find it. Facebook will get to hear of the gist like 2 weeks time. Or they used to do that you come. There are some kind of skits you bring to Twitter. Somebody will just comment, please take this video, take this your skit to Facebook. It's not for this kind of place. So they used to say that low IQ skits, you take them to Facebook because that's where you have other people who swallowing everything. Or they'll take it to WhatsApp status. You know, there are some AI videos these days that our parents will be sharing, they'll be forwarding because they cannot really understand if it's AI, if it's real. So they just be forwarding. So they easily believe things because they are not really into what is in vogue. But when you take this kind of stuff to Twitter and others, they will just tell you, guys, take this out of here. It's not for this kind of audience. So you also have Snapchat. Okay, I've mentioned Snapchat. Yes, Instagram. So this is also Instagram is beginning to lose its audience to TikTok and Snapchat. So because of that, you can easily find a lot of people from late 20s to also early 30s. And also because of the way Instagram is structured, it's only ladies who already have who easily attend parties and everything that will always go and post their pictures and videos on Instagram. So there's some kind of content that also suits Instagram. So one thing that we need to actually look at properly is actually the audience we are catering for. So you have to ask yourself, what social media platform can I find these people? Then again, you also have to consider what kind of product are you releasing? Who are my target audience? Should it be for a marketplace or owned channels? So let's look at some platform apart from social media platforms. Let's also look at some other platform that we can use to market our products. So we have platform type like business to customers, B2C, marketplaces like Amazon, Etsy, app stores, and others. So when you put your products in those places as a business, you usually sell to customers directly. So we know that Alibaba and AliExpress, they are owned by the same company. So AliExpress is the retail version of Alibaba, while Alibaba is the business to business. So that's when you go there, they have a MOQ, minimum order quantity. So you shall not buying above 5, 10. There are some things that the minimum they can sell is 1,000 because they believe that they are selling to businesses. So if you want to buy single items, go to AliExpress. So let's look at the core advantages of business to customer marketplaces like Amazon, app stores, and others. So they have built-in massive traffic, high purchase intent, instant buyer trust, and high commission fees, fierce competition, zero data control. So for example, if you go to your phone now or laptop and search a iPhone 14, the likely search result that will appear will be either Jumia, Amazon, but an e-commerce. So because of that, they have a very good SEO that when you search for a product, so if I scroll down here, like I can see here now, I'm seeing already sales stores. If I scroll down, you see iPhone, GSM, Arena. So you see GG, you see different stores that are selling. So when you are, so the advantage of this platform is that they already give you they already do marketing for you. So it's easy for people to, even if you don't, once you put your products on those marketplaces, people usually locate, you don't need to do extra marketing and others. So that's one advantage about them. So the next we have is business to business, software as a service platforms like Shopify, Salesforce, Apex. So what they do is that you give them you put your products on their platform and they sell for you. And they sell for you. So they have a direct ecosystem access to warm enterprise buyers looking for plugins. So they give you to actually market the products. So you can use their plugin and integrate them to your website to sell. They also have strict compliance rules, heavy reliance on host platform algorithm. They also have the owned e-commerce. So you can actually, you as a founder, you can actually send you can actually build your own e-commerce platform. You can actually do that, and you can also set your customers directly to your e-commerce platform. So one advantage about it is complete ownership. You are the owner of it. You are the one in charge of customer relations. You are the one managing custom pricing and others. So primary drawback is that you must build 100% of your audience and web traffic. So one disadvantage that if you have a platform like that, the marketing is strictly on you. Unlike Amazon and others that do marketing for you, you kill into their SEO. You don't need to do a lot of hard that because just like Jumia, almost people already know about Jumia. So if you put your stuff there, you easily find customers who will buy without you doing adverts. But your own channel, your own platform, you have to market it. So that's why most times I tell people that it's not just to build your own website, it's not just to build your own app. First of all, you have to check. Are there third-party tools that offer me advantage? Are there third-party tools that connect me to to this to my customers? So I'll take a break. Let me look at people who are in the class and ask if you have any question. So you know the way I do is that if I wish you don't ask me, I will call you to ask. I will call you to ask. So any question?
I'm gonna ask now. I beg. Let me take a call.
Victor, are you asking a question?
So I was thinking,
Okay.
if while doing a social media platform, giving it to rural farmers,
Okay.
and a lot of most of the problems that I searched up was a lot of them do not know how to use those platforms, especially on some apps that are complicated. I was wondering if there was any way to maybe some guide, or I don't know, maybe an actual, yes, it could be AI that will actually teach them how to, but most of them, they feel, oh, AI is going to take over the world and stuff like that. I've actually seen something like that. But most times, it actually comes up with them not believing the app, them thinking the app is fake, that whatever is on the internet is fake. I was already told my mom that whatever you see on TikTok is fake, it's not what's happening and stuff like that. So I don't know, I think that'll be like in one challenges about the digital platform and stuff like that. Getting them to believe.
So that was why when I started, I didn't go straight using mentioning about social media platforms. I actually mentioned about meeting your customers where they are, meeting them face to face. So one thing you have to first of all consider in selling your products is the first thing you have to first of all look at your products, examine your products, and ask yourself, who did I create these products for? Who will be my first customer? Where will I find them? If your customers are in the rural areas, and you also have to check, now we now have different rural areas. There are some rural areas where you don't have internet penetration, where you have to use smartphones. For example, in my village in Edo State here, it's a rural area, but the internet penetration there is very high because we've had network service there for as long as I can remember. So you have lots of people with smartphones, but maybe not the older persons who might not understand how to use smartphones. But then, if your target audience is in the rural area, you have to adopt a different approach. So your key platform shouldn't be social media. You have to think, should I send agents to the villages who interact with the buyers, with the customers, with rural farmers face to face? Or so you just have to think out how to reach them. So that's why the first thing that matters in marketing is your audience, your products, your audience, and the demography, which is the demography, the age. So demography is the age, gender, location. So once you have that in mind, if it's a rural area, then you have to keep social media out of it. You can do social media for awareness because most times you also have to, even if you are not using social media to sell to them, you also have to consider social media presence because most times those people in the rural area, they are not the one paying for that product. Most times it's their children who are in the city. So they can tell their children that, my daughter, I saw this product in the village today, check if it's good. So if you are not on social media, the children will tell you, I've never seen, they will tell the parents, I've never seen it before. So just that your focus of selling should not just be social media for that kind of product. You have to first of all go to those people, meet them face to face. Create a system that can actually interact with those people. That's why these days in the startup incubation programs, when you are pitching a product, you mention that your target audience is the rural. The first question the judges should ask you is, how are you going to, people in the rural area, how are they going to use your product? So that's where the thing of USSD has to come up. That you are building a product, a software product that rural area will use. You have to impute, you have to bring in USSD. So apart from USSD, you can also consider booths, sales booths, like we have POS. This is one key reason why POS has gone far and wide, all areas, have penetrated all areas of Nigeria, because they have agents in booths. So OPE would have just say, money point would have just say, our target is to serve, or they serve people, and they build an app, and they put it at the mercy of whoever is interested. No, they started by creating phone booths. I don't know if any of you grew was aware when there were phone booths in every street. You can have 1, 2, 3 phone booths in the streets. So they adopted that process. They have a POS stand. So they have POS stand to serve those rural areas. So you can consider something like that. Just rely on people will go online and search for the product, and if you don't work when you are dealing with rural areas. So we've not gotten to that. So you have to think of other ways you can actually use to reach these people face to face. So if your product is made for rural areas, you cannot eliminate face to face. If maybe not from you, but you must have agents who reach those people face to face. So let's take, for example, that we want to build a marketplace that connects farmers in the village and buyers in the city. You need to have somebody on ground who onboard those farmers, who help them onboard their products into the platform, who goes to meet different farmers and collect their products and list on the platform. You have to consider that, because you are just leave it at the mercy that the farmers will know your platform, they will upload your products. I can assure you that a lot of these farmers don't know how to use smartphones. They don't know how to use they don't know how to, they'll not be able to use your platform. So you need to consider having somebody on ground, like agents, who onboard the farm produce and everything. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? Should I start calling your names? Excel.
I'm here. I'm not have to. I'm not part of the class.
Oh, okay. Is Adura part of us? Chukweku. It's
Hello,
okay.
sir.
Yeah. Chukweku, what's your question?
There's no question for now. Your explanation was well understood. It was down to it. I got it very well clear, sir.
So what products are you looking at launching?
Okay, what I'm still working on still has to do along the palm oil value chain. So I'm looking at a long solution that tries to help them streamline their processes for a dashboard, a digital system.
Digital system, okay. So how do you intend to go about that? How do you intend to, is it a large scale farmers you are looking at, or subsistence farmers?
It's not really subsistent, though. I'm trying to look at how I try to bring it. There's this breakage, smallholder farmers, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting productivity and the value of products because they are doing it in batches. So I'm trying to say I can aggregate more and sell in bulk from them.
Okay. So you are looking at meeting the small farmers, gathering aggregate the products, and you sell on their behalf.
Yes, add value to it and sell off with the open market, yeah.
Okay.
Because on their own level, they don't produce well because of the process involved. So I'm trying to create a digital system that integrates the supply chain platform, which connects, that is, the farmers and the buyers.
Okay. So how are you going to assess the rural farmers? That's so more like how are you going to get your first customers in the rural area? Because your farmers, your first customers will be in the rural areas. How are you going to get them?
Okay, for now I have about, let's say, 7 to 10 already. Okay, normally I work with them, so I know some of them already. So it's a sort of one-on-one discussion. They get to explain their problems and more.
Can anybody hear me? Can
You can
anybody?
hear you. I think Charles' network
The
was
system
bad.
I'm trying to create
Okay.
and what it will do for them. Take
Mr. Charles, we lost you. Your network is not okay.
okay. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Okay, so I think I understood what you said. So if I should ask, you said currently you have about 10 people you've onboarded, you've started dealing with. How did you get? Would you want to share with us how you got the first person you dealt with?
Okay. The first person I got had challenges. I met them at the mill. They were trying to process, but no record, no traceability for their products. They have none to fall back on because I tried to help them identify a problem which they currently have, but they don't know. So in course of discussion, trying to make them understand that there are problems in this thing and talking them through, they came to understand that we've been looking for someone to help us solve this thing. And I tried to ask, if you get the solution, will you buy into it?
Okay.
That's been my question. How we try to bring in the money aspect where they try to like a payment plan. Scared of technology and the money that comes in. So one thing for them is simple to try to make the rate of their harvest. Because one thing is that they don't know harvest when they harvest. And one trying to go through some things. Sometimes they ask you why is that people try to call you before they buy from you. Why that you have customers already like you don't have. Sometimes that the mill owners cheat them from their own produce because of the process they go through, either to harvest or to process. Some will leave their own to over ferment because they want more products from it, less produce from it. So all these things I try to some really need a solution, and I think it will sell in a bigger market, but I've not really gone that far to test it much.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I got from
Hello,
you
sir.
was that how you got was trying to explain to them the problem they have and that you have a solution for it. So that's why it's good that first of all, the products we have has to be solving somebody's problem. And when you have that kind of product, you have to also be able to convince your customers that these products you have, I have the solution. So, and also from what you said, it's also evident that sometimes your first customers will be people who you are meeting physically. So we should always take time out to consider our product and check how are we going to where are we going to find our first customers. And once we're able to answer that question, we can now design a proper approach on how to reach them. So we should not have it in mind that this product I'm building is going to be an online product. It's going to be people online. No, it's always not like that. Your first customers will even be people who will even use them, people who know you, because in Nigeria, trust is a major factor. That before we pay for some, because here we value money very well. Before we pay for something, we have to be sure that this thing we are paying for is worth every penny we are releasing. So we as sellers, we as founders, we have to comfortably have this in mind when getting our products ready for market, to be able to convince our customers that these products it's actually worthwhile. So we should not just have that. We should not just have it in our head that this product is all the sales will come from online. No. Sometimes your biggest customers will even be people who know you. So any other question? Any other question? So in absence of no question, I'll quickly touch the other parts of my slide. So if we've identified our customers, we've identified the strategy we want to use in selling it, we've identified how to reach our first customers, where to meet them. The next thing we should be looking at is what strategy are we going to use? If, for example, like Chukwueku, I want to digitalize palm kernel, palm oil sales, do I just how am I going to reach my customers in the villages, in the rural areas? How am I going to convince them that what I have is the solution to their problem? So the first thing we have to do, first launch part strategy we need to adopt is to borrow early trust. Launch and establish marketplaces to quickly secure your first 10 to 50 orders without spending capital on early brand credibility. So once we, like I said before, is be able to get your users to buy into your vision. Once they do that, your first target is to actually get 10 to 50 people who you've convinced, who have bought into your product. And once you do that first 10 sales and you make sure that you de-risk them, they don't see any risk in buying from you, and they trust your product, you will now build on this 10 to 50 to reach more orders. So imagine you are frying plantain chips, your first thing should be that you should produce first 10 or 20, sell them without complaints. Good feedback. Once you get that good feedback, you build on it, you continue. So another one is to migrate to own channels. Use marketplace momentum to fund own infrastructure. So if, for example, you have a product you are selling, the first thing you should actually do is actually to sell on a marketplace like Jumia, or take it to a place like Allmark to go and drop the products there. Once you now have people who have bought it, who have given you, you've gotten reviews from, imagine you have a product that you are taking to Allmark every week, you sell 10, 20, 50 every week. It means at that stage, people now believe in your product, people now have demand for your product. Then you can start now considering, should I go and open my own store and just be selling my products? So usually you use marketplace momentum to fund own infrastructure, gradually guide repeat buyers to your own platforms to retain full margins and capture rich customer analytics. So what we're simply saying is that once you have a product you want to sell, the first place you should consider is on your own channel. Because if, for example, you are producing a liquid soap and you want to start marketing it with your own website, it will likely not work. So the first thing is to list it on Jumia, list it on Konga, try to list it on other marketplaces that are popular. Then, when you've now got a lot of sales, a lot of feedback, you can now start using the money you are getting from there to build your own platform. So, a concrete example I would list for you guys is that almost all the eateries that are on Charted today or supermarkets, they've used their own. They had their own logistic company that was doing delivery for them, but they all failed. Chicken Republic used to have their own websites for people to order food, didn't work for them. Allmark, as I'm talking to you now, they have their own online stores. They don't make sales. I went to Yomi's which day, I saw that they also had their own platform before. It doesn't work because people don't know them like that. Even if people know their working, they are still not confident in their online stuff. But now that they moved to Chowdeck, they sell in and out because people already trust Chowdeck. People already trust trading process. Another thing could also be that they don't have enough experience to manage the logistics that comes with them having their own platform. You understand? So that's why at this early stage, key into other marketplaces, establish a customer base, make sales, gain trust. Then you can now start using that trust to build your own platform. So not just launch a product and you want to build a marketplace. It will likely fail because you might not have the necessary experience to push your own channel. So another thing that's also very important is early customer relations. At early stage, you have to treat your customers as if they are your friends, as if your life depends on them. Actually, your products depends on them. Your first customers they are like gold. You have to treat them like gold. You have to value them because they are the people that first trusted you. So you have to give them discounts, pamper them, reach out to them, almost make them families because they're the people that first trusted you. So treating your initial buyers like design partners, get feedback from them, ask them, this teaching that you bought from me, how was it taste? What do you think I should add to it? Try out their recommendations and see if it works. You have to treat them like partners. How personal feedback loops dictates your path to product market fit. That's what we are going to look at here. So the early feedback loop. So when you have a product, you should be so focused on feedback. Feedback is very, very important. We saw what feedback did to what was the name of this tomato space that every spoke that a customer gave a review on Facebook. They went after the customers, arrested her. I can tell you that for many months, they had to battle that. Even when you go to stores, you hardly even see their product. A lot of people blacklisted them. They didn't want to buy their product because they didn't take feedback as it's supposed to be. There was a time that there was a rumor that people ate Indomie and they died. The Indomie in the market was killing. Do you know what the CEO did? The CEO booked an appointment with a television station. They cooked Indomie live and they started eating it. What did that feedback do? They ended up gaining a lot of trust. So you as a market person, you as a product owner, you have to take feedback, very, very important, and address them properly. There was a time in Lagos where there was a clash between the Hausas and the Yorubas, and after some time, there was a rumor that the beans that they were bringing from the north that was poison. People stopped buying beans. Like, it was very serious in Lagos at those days. What happened? The Hausa community in Lagos, they had a meeting, they brought out beans, they started cooking the beans and eating to gain people's trust back. So feedback is very important. So you can see here, it's saying a founder has to have 100% attention to feedback. 100% attention. So every feedback you get, even if it's bad, treat it with utmost seriousness. So here it's also saying that feedback is your real revenue. In the early phase of a startup, customer insights are worth far more than the nominal cash generated from the sales. So most times it could be that even all the money you made from your sales, you use it to satisfy your customer because of the feedback they've given you. So if a customer tells you that I bought one pack of Coca-Cola and the when I bought them, they were sour, it's as if maybe they be open. Or I bought one crate of egg from you, all the eggs were bad. You as a seller, you can even say, okay, don't worry, I'm bringing a full 2 crates of eggs for you. What will happen? That customer will come back to you because he knows that if tomorrow I buy bad product from you, you will always appreciate the feedback and treat accordingly. So in the early phase of a startup, customer insights are worth far more than the nominal cash generated from the sales. Skip the automation. Personally email, call them, or send video greetings to every early purchaser. Seek direct friction points. What surprised you? What almost stops you from buying our product? So feedback is very important. Treat your first customers with utmost respect, utmost sincerity, and value them very well. So turning buyers into evangelists. So those your first 10 customers, use them as point of contact to reach other persons. Treat them as evangelists. Let them do marketing. Let them talk to people about your product. And that's where a reward comes in. Say, okay, introduce my product to other people and you get a reward. So encourage early adopters to post unboxing videos or initial setup expressions of social channels to trigger organic loops. So imagine all the 10 customers that bought a product from you. After they use it, they post a review on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. A lot of persons will purchase that product from you, will reach out to you because they are seeing a satisfied customer. So case studies. Meticulously document your first user success stories. One powerful real quote is what a high budget ad campaign for new startups. So if a customer gives a very good review for your product, it's worth more than you spending millions of naira to do advance. Loyalty cooperation. Act on any feature requests, showing customers that you build features based on their suggestions. Imagine you are a person that makes Zobo, and you now have the customer that says, man, I like your Zobo, but I usually like Zobo that has a touch of ginger. Next week, make 2-3 packs that has ginger. Give to that customer. Before you know, 1-2-3 people will come for it. Or a customer will tell you that, that your Zobo I bought, it was very nice, but the ginger was too much. Okay, next time, if you are making 20 products in a batch, make sure that 10 has no ginger, another 10 has high ginger. So your customers will see that, man, this person really values our opinion. So that's how you actually turn your customers into evangelists. Early days, customer insights are worth far more than total cash from the sales. Treat early buyers like royalty. So it's actually a golden rule of early customer service. So is there any question? So I think that's the end of the class. I'll leave you now to ask questions or make comments. Any question? Grace, you can ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is based on what you said about using like agents, like taking them to either the rural areas where the farmers are. But I think a problem is that, for instance, if you are starting up a project and you don't have that funds to either deploy people, because since it's a new product, definitely the funds might not be coming in at that time. So how do you measure that? Is it you rely on people that are going to invest on the product before you'll be able to push it out properly?
So the way to, okay, imagine I'm producing an equipment, a farming implement that actually help farmers to know the level of water content in the soil. It's a hardware, like a physical product that, and I'm staying in Benin, and where the farmers will likely use it is in East Central Fuga. So you might want to, maybe you start considering that, okay, for you to be able to sell this product to them, you have to do with the farmers physically where they are. If you do not have the means to go to that place, you need to look for somebody in that community who you can actually like convince, bring on board to help you reach out to those farmers. So that is why also in selecting co-founders, a lot of things come into place. You cannot say, okay, if that product solely depends on having physical spaces, physical agents, and you cannot afford that at that initial stage, get agents and give them lots of percentage. They should sell on commission. Get their look for their contacts, send to them. You can just maybe make a trip there once and meet with this agent and tell them that, see, I have 50 pieces of this product and I'm selling it for 20,000 naira. You can sell for 30, you can sell for 25 and give him my 20. Or you tell them that every product you say, you get also percentage, commission. That saves you the cost of you not be able to reach them. That also help you sell your product. So somebody who can, okay, imagine you are selling a product, you made a product that you want to go and sell in the north. Where you don't, people who will use it will likely be outside, not understand the English. How you going to interact with them? You need to look for somebody there who you like convince, put the product in his hands, that will help you sell the product. You give them commission. So that's how to do it. So if you realize that your product will need you to have physical agents on ground because your customers are not they are not social media inclined, you need to actually use agents. The same way POS was marketed, they started getting agents. So they didn't say so for money points and OPay, they were trying to you already have established banks where people could walk in, and the bank withdraw, get attended to. What they did was, let us create agents who will even be in front of those banks to attend to customers. So that's why you have lots of POS agents standing close to banks and everywhere, because they were trying to solve a problem the bank could not solve. And before Money Points OPay came out, we already had internet banking. You understand? So they did not say, let us just be internet banking. No, you are not solving a problem. For you to solve a problem, they needed to have agents who have a POS machine in their hands. Remember that before Money Point OPay came out, you will go into bank, they will give you POS to withdraw money from inside the bank. What did they do? They brought those POS out of the bank so that people who are not comfortable going to the bank can have access to those POS, and they made them very many. So some products we have, the use of agents and sale on commission is very, very important. So maybe if your concern is that you might not have money to push it at that initial stage, sell on commission. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I did. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Any other question? In absence of no other question, we'll close it again.
Grace hand is up. Oh.
No, she has asked.
Okay, Shaz. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you so very much. Thank you for this session. Thank you for always answering us, even though your schedule is so full, but you still make out time to attend to that. Guys, you guys are very privileged. You don't know who is speaking with you. You don't know what has been poured into you. So these notes that you are taking, please take them seriously. Try and implement. Ask questions where you have any questions. We are together in the group, and if you need to reach out to Mr. Basil, you can also reach out to him. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Sam. So everyone, the class continues tomorrow morning. Now I understand that there's public holiday tomorrow and on Thursday. Thursday was supposed to be our physical class. I will give you feedback on that, whether we are meeting physically or do we have a Muslim in the class? Do we? Any Muslim in the class that is doing Salah?
None for now.
Okay. So I'll confirm if the hall will be open on Thursday. If not, we may have to I will give you feedback by tomorrow, but tomorrow's class is 10 a.m. by this time. What we are doing tomorrow is refining your BMC. So for anybody that has not submitted a BMC, please, as a matter of urgency, submit. And if you submitted something but you want to change it, send another one. And if what you submitted is AI, please go and do your BMC. You have not done it. So once I open your page and it's AI, I will skip. I want to talk to humans. Use the template, the exact